Today, I have a very unique fragrance for you guys. This is not going to be for everybody, but I do think that there's enough going on with this fragrance where you can use it for a lot of different ways or a lot of different reasons. And for that, I think it's important that I present this to you, especially coming off the backbone of its brother fragrance, which is doing phenomenally well right now in the inspiration category. And it is a Lattafa fragrance. Yes, it is. Strap up. We're going for that ride. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Today from the house of Lattafa, we have Maahir Black Edition from Lattafa. Now, a lot of you guys have seen this fragrance or may have heard of this fragrance, but you haven't smelled this fragrance. Why? Because of its older brother, Maahir Legacy Silver, that gets all the credit. Inspiration of Sedley, very well done, you know, mojito, lime, rainwater, metallic. Really nice rendition of Sedley, and it's doing extremely well for anybody who kind of wants a metallic, lime, classy Monster Performer fragrance. It's interesting because as much love as Parfums de Marly gets as a house with all of their different banger fragrances, Sedley's not often talked about. But I think if you're just getting started with Parfums de Marly, Sedley is the safest fragrance you can wear out of the entire line because it's the most versatile. You know, it's just a fresh, earthy, metallic lime type of fragrance that in the actual PDM Sedley has a lot of dimension and class to it. And it's unique, you know, because it's lime forward, not lemon or bergamot or any of that. So yeah, anyways, enough about that because this video is not about Sedley and it's not about Maahir Legacy Silver. This fragrance doesn't get purchased often because people don't know what it's going after. In fact, I don't even know what it's going after. Let me do a quick search here and let's see. Maahir Black Edition Lattafa is a clone of, let's see if it actually has something it's chasing for. I know it's chasing something, but I mean, I don't think there's a lot of marketing behind what this is going after. So who cares? I don't really think anyone cares. They just want to know, is it a good enough fragrance to try? Is it as good as Maahir Legacy Silver and that type of stuff? Okay. In a nutshell, this is a dark, incensey, woody, spicy, Middle Eastern fragrance. Okay? We are in the realm of things like Assad. To take it even further, it's in the realm of Bentley Absolute. What's another smoky fragrance in my collection? Ancre Noir a la Extreme. You know, we are talking dark, smoky incense, not very sweet of a fragrance. A lot of woods, a lot of incense, a lot of pepper, earthy, rich, leather. This is a dark Middle Eastern feeling fragrance. And it's not Middle Eastern in the sense of spices. It's Middle Eastern in the sense of the incensey, smoky nature of this fragrance. This literally, if you close your eyes, almost smells dead ringer to a Nag Champa cone incense. Let me show you guys this real quick. Nag, I don't even know how to spell Nag Champa. Incense cone. I love Google now because they just they'll finish the sentence for you even if you're an idiot. So when I was in college, we used to light these all the time at the crib. These little cone deals, you know, they're incense but in cone form. So you light the tip of them, they kind of smoke around. As long as you got like a little stone or something under them, they would create this real mysterious kind of smoky incense vibe. And don't ask me why I enjoyed that as a smell in my house. I've always been more artsy than normal. And so I used to love lighting these. You know, it's got a very kind of hookah incensey feel. But this fragrance is no different. And let me cover up those notes and come back out to main screen just so I can give you an initial thoughts. Again, think, oh, that is not the right fragrance. Think dark, woody, incensey fragrance. You know, Nag Champa incense sitting on roasted burnt woods. You don't really get a burnt vibe as much as you just get dark woods, like the wood after it's been burning all day, 2 days later, what the room would smell like, but maybe just a little freshness from incense. It's slightly sweet, maybe like a 2 out of 10 sweetness. And it is a very much darker, less sweet version of Assad, but it's probably more closer to Bentley Absolute, way drier. And that's why I feel it's Middle Eastern. It has a very heavy incense, dark room, dark wood kind of vibe. This fragrance, I think for older gentlemen, 35 and up, can rock as a standalone fragrance in very specific occasions. Cigar lounge, theater, casino, gambling, you know, stuff like that. Maybe like cocktail hour at an outdoor space, sitting around a campfire, stuff like that. But for the younger people, I think having a fragrance like this is paramount. Not necessarily this fragrance, but having a dark wood or dark incensey fragrance around as a layering fragrance is essential, because a lot of times you might have something that is so bright or so fresh, it lacks a lot of dimension. And we know that what gives a lot of fragrances dimension and class is a woody base. So when you add a smoky woody base, it can give you both class and a mystery man type of feel, an edginess to the fragrance. So the reason I want to present this fragrance to you guys today is because I don't think you should buy this fragrance to wear it for most age groups. Again, 35 and up, I think you could find a very select circumstantial case to wear it, and I've given you a few scenarios. But for anyone who might want to experiment in the world of incense and wood and all that jazz, I think this could be a good fragrant that you can accent along other fragrances to get a dark, smoky fragrance, which now that I think about it, doesn't really fit the younger crowd either. But I think 25 and up is what starts to get unlocked in my mind if you're mixing stuff with it. One of the first combos I tried with this fragrance was dark cherry and amber from Banana Republic. I had a Clive Christian cherry fragrance that I tried, putting a lead cherry note on this. So now you've got this dark cherry and smoke feel with a touch of incense. And now I had like a really sexy kind of dark cold weather fragrance. So I think this is like a staple layering fragrance, you know, having something like this or a Bentley Absolute or an Ancre Noir a la Extreme. I have all three of those fragrances for different reasons, because this kind of gives me my dark, smoky, Middle Eastern incensey flair to a fragrance. A la Extreme kind of gives me my clean, resinous, ambery wood, burnt wood feel. And then Absolute gives me like my dry, ashy wood base. And I like to play with those different variations of giving a different style of woody base to a lot of linear fragrances to give them a woody flair if I feel like they're either too citric or too bright or too top heavy and things like that. Really grounds the fragrance. So this is either a phenomenal layering fragrance for older gentlemen above 25, or as a standalone fragrance if you're somebody that goes to a hookah bar or cigar lounge or casino or night out or by a fireplace type of vibe. This can be a very signature fragrance, but again, it is kind of Middle Eastern in its treatment. With all that being said, I'm going to skip over some of the usual suspects because we haven't even gone to our breakdown here. Black pepper, pink pepper, saffron up top. Cade oil, labdanum, Gurjan balsam, so a balsam resin. Rhubarb. Yeah, okay. Leather, cedar, gaiac wood, patchouli, musk, and moss. So very earthy, very woody, very resinous, very peppery, and very leathery. The leather is a way background note, less than 10%. This is mostly a peppery, smoky, resinous, woody, dark fragrance. Again, it smells exactly like a Nag Champa incense, but even darker and even more resinous woody. Very circumstantial fragrance, guys. Very circumstantial fragrance. This won't be for most people. But if anything I'm talking about strikes your interest, whether it's the occasion, whether it's the layering possibilities, or whether it matches your age demographic, this is a very circumstantial fragrance for a very select group of people. In fact, I would say if you're a younger guy, but you want to have some type of incensey fragrance that's incensey forward or resinous wood forward, I actually think for guys 25 and down, you shouldn't get Ancre Noir à l'Extrême and you shouldn't get Maahir Black Edition. You should actually go with something like Bentley Absolute, Bentley for Men Absolute, because even that's challenging for your age group, but it is a cleaner, drier wood with a little bit more of a clean incense feel. It's much less Middle Eastern. So if you younger guys 25 and down are even kind of interested in walking down that alley, start with Bentley Absolute and let me know how you like or don't like that. And if you like that and want to proceed forward with having a depth to your fragrance collection with dark woods, incense, resins, and stuff like that, then you could tiptoe into other fragrances that I would love to recommend, and I have recommended on this channel. Monstrous performer, guys. 2 to 4 sprays, 10 plus hours. Sticks to everything. In the same way when you light an incense in your room, how it just sticks to everything the next morning, sticks to the walls. This fragrance sticks to everything. Monstrous performer. I talked about alternatives. I talked about age groups. I talked about occasions and all that. Shines in colder weather, indoors, outdoor if it's cooler. I don't really feel like this is the best fragrance in any kind of warmth or high heat. Colder is better, but it doesn't have to be cold, super cold outside. As long as it's just not hot and you have some aeration, there's certain nighttime occasions where it absolutely makes all the sense in the world. My Middle Eastern folk, this is a banger. This is a banger. Yeah, let me know if you guys have tried this fragrance or if you have any questions about it. But again, very circumstantial piece to your collection, and it's not for most people. So I hope I gave you enough information if you're considering it on what you're getting yourself into. Yeah, like I said, just contact me if you have any more questions about the fragrance. We'll help the community out by posting answers to those questions below. But again, this was Lattafa's fragrance, Maahir Black Edition. I honestly give it, see, there's different categories for the rating for this. Overall, as a fragrance, I give it a 7. Because I don't think this is the best standalone fragrance. For my Middle Eastern folk, I think it's like an 8 at best. But in terms of like a layering type of fragrance, it's closer to like 8 or a 9 as like a utility layering fragrance. But it has a place in a collection, but it's just a very specific place. So overall, as a fragrance, wearing it alone and not having any other utility for it, it's pretty average. And people who don't like this style of DNA would definitely rate it much lower, 4, 5, 6. But if you like incense and smoky woods and resins and all that stuff, it's an average fragrance with the potential to become an 8 or even a 9 upon layering and comboing it out. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. We drop episodes every single day, and we're killing it right now, thanks to the community. This is the Scent Bubble. Hope you guys stay blessed. Until next time, peace.